Hello and welcome everyone to Stepping into Sovereignty, Activating the Fierce Love of the Sacred Feminine, where wisdom keepers from all over the globe are summoning up the courage to take decisive and loving action to create the future we desire. I'm your host, Kathy Forrest, founder of Celestial Forest Institute, and we are here today with my dear friend, Bonnie Salamon. Bonnie believes that there are essentials to consider as midlifers and beyond to create a rich, fulfilling, and textured later life. Connection to the elements and a personal higher power are the foundation of these essential teachings. And as a charter natural rhythms facilitator, she brings this wisdom to her clients. Additionally, she's a certified life cycle celebrant, certified gerontologist, and facilitator of the path of the 21st century priestess, high priestess, and alchemical creatrix. Bonnie includes Pathway to Bliss teachings to help her clients reach their greatness. She is also the author and creatrix of the Wisdom of Aging Oracle deck. Bonnie, welcome. I'm always happy to chat with you and have these talks with you. You're so welcome.
It's just great to be with you, and I thank you for this opportunity and for all that you do in the world that is making it a better place to be.
Ditto, honey. So your topic, which I think is amazing, is claiming your sovereign wise woman. And I just have to tell the listeners that before we always call in sacred space before we do these talks, and Bonnie called that archetype in. So we're going to be quote unquote channeling the sovereign wise woman in this conversation today. So Miss Bonnie, how do you know when you become a wise woman? Is it like a certain age, or is there a ding that goes off? What happens?
Well, Kathy, great question. No, there is no particular age, and it can be earlier or later. If you believe that you have lived before, maybe you got all the chits that you needed to become a wise woman earlier in your life. For many of us, it comes a little bit later, but never too late to really step into it. I think you know when you have become a wise woman because you are willing to take your own wise counsel. And what I mean by that is that we know that only we have the right answers for ourselves. Only I know, I can take in all the information that's given to me from others who are also very wise. But when I sort it all out, it's my wise counsel. It's my inner knowing that tells me what's the right thing for me. So that's the really first step to connecting with that wise woman. There's many aspects that I know we'll talk about as we go further into that. I just wanted to stress that the wise woman can come at any time, and it may come all at once, or it may come over time, where you begin to see that your decision making has stepped up a bit, that your ability to have perspective on the world has gained some momentum. And it becomes more of an outer focus than an inner focus as you step into your wisdom.
Right. Wow. So I know that many of us have grown up with an idea of what a wise woman is, like the old model, and it feels like that's getting an upgrade. So can you compare the difference between what we might have thought of as a wise woman in the past and where we're going? What's the wise woman in today's model?
Well, it's very interesting that as we look back and we think about the wise woman, we often think about someone who is way older, maybe walking with a walking stick, and has a robe with a hood, maybe out in the woods creating something with nature. And in today's world, she's taken on a totally different look, feel, voice. It doesn't matter how old she is, but she's the one who's willing to share her wisdom at the appropriate times. She can be in the medical profession. She can be a teacher. She can be a salesperson. It matters not. Her wisdom will come from within. It will bubble up, and she will express it in many ways out into the world. So you can't recognize her by how she dresses or fixes her hair, or what shade of lipstick she wears, or if she's carrying a cauldron. But you'll know her from her voice, from how she conducts herself, from the loving space from which she comes. So it's easy to try to stereotype what a wise woman is. I have met many, many, many young women in this day and age who I consider to be extremely wise women, because they have connected to their higher power. They have perhaps connected to nature. They have delved into themselves and taken the deep journeys that give them the answers that they're searching for. They're not necessarily looking in the outside world for those answers, but they're looking from within.
Wow. So they carry themselves, they walk in wisdom no matter what their age.
Exactly. And no matter their circumstance.
Right, for sure.
I think we see them on the front lines now every day.
I agree. Because earlier you said, or what color lipstick she wears. And I don't think that in the past we thought that the wise women wore lipstick. I think we thought that they were holed up out in the woods somewhere, just like you said, and long white hair, and not that that is a bad thing, and not that you're not going to see wise women of today like that, but I think they're getting younger and younger and younger, and I think that's important. I feel like when we talk about sovereignty, another aspect of this is being willing to take action. I think wise women know when to and when not to, but the time of us just sitting back and hoping that things are going to change is probably over.
Yes.
I think that would segue into my next question, which is, what are the characteristics of a sovereign wise woman?
Great question. So a sovereign wise woman is whole unto herself. That's the first thing. She has the wisdom to know when to speak and when to be silent. She knows how to hold compassion in her heart for everyone. Love, compassion, understanding. She has the ability to move beyond what might be right there in her face, and to take the journey in somebody else's moccasins, if you will. The sovereign wise woman releases judgment. I think that's a huge, huge characteristic, that when you can take people where they are, accept them with their foibles, with their humanity, if you will, and understand that all of us are doing the best we can at any given time, that's when you know you have reached a point where you are not judging.
Mhm.
Uh, it's the person, the sovereign wise woman chooses those who uplift her to
Mhm.
be in her world. And while she has empathy and compassion and tries to help others, she surrounds herself with folks who will uplift her,
Mhm.
who not necessarily share the same belief system, but who are willing to see hers and she is willing to see theirs. So it's that ability to open to the gifts of the world,
Mhm.
whatever they are. And I think one of the biggies, and you'll probably recognize this, Kathy, is to allow the mysteries of life to open before you. We say, let's see what's to be revealed.
Right.
That we surrender our control or need to control, because let's face it, how much do we really control?
Mhm.
And surrender to what life offers us.
Mhm.
Because when we are so focused, we don't see the tremendous number of gifts surrounding us.
Mhm.
And if we're going like this, we may miss a turn off on a path that's going to take us to places we never, ever could have imagined.
Right.
So the sovereign wise woman holds that space of, let's see what's going to be revealed. Let's connect with life's mystery and see where it's going to take us.
Beautiful.
So she will also listen to others when they give advice.
Mhm.
You know, she's going to be open. And then she will choose what what I call my purple bag of tricks, what I'm going to take and put in my purple bag of tricks, that's something that will really serve me in days to come.
Mhm. Wow. So the ability to choose, as I've been interviewing people, I've been rolling this sovereignty topic around in my mind. And um, that ability to choose versus just allow yourself to be railroaded into whatever, um, feels like that is really key when it comes to sovereignty, because I keep, I try to listen from the aspect of our listeners. And when I hear you speak, everyone, I can feel it's like, yes, I want some of that. How would you coach someone to step into that?
The first thing I think that has to happen, Kathy, is she has to be willing to connect with her truth and speak her truth.
Mhm.
And that's going to be regardless of what others may think about that truth.
Mhm.
So it takes a great deal of courage to be willing to stand in that sovereignty and know that my truth may not be the right truth for you. And I accept that.
Mhm.
I'm just speaking from my heart of what's true for me.
Mhm.
Um, I think that she would choose the situations that uplift her and step away from those that don't serve her as well.
Mhm.
And that's not an easy thing to do,
Mhm.
because, people are always asking us, well, would you help do this or could you do that?
Mhm.
And we have to be really selective with our precious, precious time
Mhm.
and decide what is going to be uplifting, what is going to uh, keep in line with our mission, our personal mission. And I think it's really important that a sovereign wise woman know what her mission is. It's been, gosh, this is really interesting. I'm just going to do a little aside very briefly. About 35 years ago, back in the dark ages for me, when I was in corporate world, I created a personal mission statement
Mhm.
long before that was the fashion. And it had to do with launching, helping to launch other people on their path. And I had stuck it away somewhere, and I came across it a couple of years ago and went, oh my goodness, that's what I've been doing for the last 35 years.
Right.
So knowing that personal mission statement is a great way to claim that sovereignty.
Oh, wow.
She fills her life with diversity. You know, she looks at all the ways that she can create the life that she wants to have, that it's not formulaic, that she can, in this day and time, we are so flippin' blessed to be able
Yes.
to choose. We hear that, here's that word again,
Mhm.
the path that we want to take, the people we want to have in our lives, the things we want to try.
Mhm.
And it's okay. A sovereign woman can say, well, you know, I followed that path. It really didn't turn out the way I hoped it would.
Mhm.
And I need to backtrack a little bit and try something else.
Mhm.
That it's the ability to laugh at herself and laugh with herself, and to know that um, she is the best judge of what's right for her. No one else can tell her
Mhm.
what's the right thing for her.
Our society doesn't really, I mean, I think it's, what we see happening out there in the media. The sovereign woman has put her toe on the planet and there's no going back. And whether they like it or not, she's here. But our society, they don't really honor that yet. They don't know to honor that yet. And they don't know what to do with it. I mean, it's kind of scary to come in contact with someone that really, I mean, they've been in the past, I think, historically, women that are willing to claim their sovereignty have been rare. I mean, and put that out there in front of the world, which I think a lot of sovereign women do that. So, is there anything else you want to share about how we would claim it?
I do, and I think this is really important. It needs to be spoken into. It's part of our responsibility as sovereign women to uplift the masculine. That yes, we have lived with patriarchy. Yes, we have paid the price of living with patriarchy. And there are so many men now who wish to come into a higher vibration. And so to just throw them all under the bus, which sometimes is the case in our society, is a mistake, I believe. Because as a sovereign woman, we have the confidence to uplift them to their highest vibration and to support their learning, because that's what's happening. They're learning
Just
how,
like we are.
yeah. And so, definitely think that that's an important part of claiming our sovereignty as a wise woman.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So, how do the elements help a wise woman claim her sovereignty?
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to make it brief because
you
we could
don't
talk
have to
about
try.
that from now until the kingdom come. But so let's start just briefly giving just a little thumbnail of the elements, and starting with earth, which is the physical realm. And earth really invites us to take a different kind of an inventory of our bodies
Mhm.
and to truly understand what our bodies are capable of, at whatever age we are in our life,
Mhm.
and to honor that from a different perspective. Earth also wants us to, as sovereign wise women, step into how to make her a better place to live.
Mhm.
She will whisper to us and sometimes shout at us what we need to know about the earthly plane and being here. And we, as sovereign wise women, listen. It's very important to listen. The element of water is the emotional realm. And the wise woman will step into her full range of emotions, no matter how uncomfortable they may be.
Mm.
So sometimes there's sadness and there's grief. And a wise woman knows that she can step into those emotions, knowing they're not permanent, knowing that the best way through them is through them.
Mhm.
And know that on the other side, there's more. And as long as she holds that love and compassion in her heart, she can move through whatever it is that life is giving her.
Mhm.
And these are just like really brief thumbnails. So there's so much more that I'll be talking about in my free gift of recordings
Mhm.
about the elements and the sovereign wise woman. Air is the mental realm, and it helps us with our intentions for how we want to move in the world, what it is that we want to give back. It helps us to form clarity of thought with a clear vision of where we're going. And it teaches us about honoring our breath of life, which is finite. And we want to use it to speak our truth. We want to use that breath of life to help instill hope, compassion, love, faith in others.
Mhm.
Fire is the action realm. And by George, the sovereign wise woman, as you spoke about before, it's time to take action.
Right.
You know, we now have the stage, we have the forum. We are being listened to in ways we've never been listened to before.
Mhm.
So take our truth out into the world and share it. And then from the spiritual perspective, the God of your understanding, whatever that is, however that, whatever form that takes, that is the catalyst. That's the magic that brings all of this together. And the wise woman creates a beautiful relationship uh, with the God of her understanding, even if it's nothing like what it was when she was younger. She has the opportunity to recreate that beautiful connection and know that everything we do is up-leveled by our connection to a higher power.
Wow. So plugging into the elements would be a really good first step for
Yes,
someone.
yes,
And I just happen to know that you have a nice little tool that people could use to do that.
I
Care
do.
to share? That has nothing to do with the free gift, but please share what that is and how
Okay.
you get a hold of those.
I'm glad to, because you were a great catalyst in making that happen with me. It is the Wisdom of Aging card deck, and it is based on the elements and helps us with all of these aspects of who we are and how we create a deeper resonance with everything moving in our lives.
Mhm.
So the cards can be used, one a day. You can do a card spread, and they will support wherever you are, because what's so amazing about the elements is they will meet you wherever you are in your life. And no matter if you've studied them, and I have studied them almost 20 years now,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I continue to learn. They continue to inform me and invite me
Mhm.
to reach higher and higher vibration and
Right.
goals and intentions. So,
Beautiful. So talk to us about the free gift. This sounds yummy. Claiming
okay,
your sovereign wise woman, the videos.
claiming your sovereign wise woman will be a 5 video series.
Mhm.
There'll be short videos, and you'll have the opportunity to connect with each element
Mhm.
with some exercises and little meditations to help you find that wise woman within and claim her
Mhm.
because she belongs to you.
Right. So
So
we get to let her pop out into the world.
yes, absolutely. So I'm excited to share those, and I'm looking forward to connecting with the audience.
Mhm.
Thank all of you for being willing to take the time to do this really important work. Kathy has made such a difference in our world. And I know that anytime Kathy is involved in a project, I want to be in there too. But she is the epitome of the sovereign wise woman.
Oh, thank you, Bonnie. I want to ask one more question.
Sure,
You work with people one-on-one as well as in groups. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
absolutely. I facilitate online priestess, high priestess, creatrix circles with my partner Judy Keating. I have many green products, sustainable products, programs on boundaries, programs on legacy.
Mhm.
And then we have in-person circles in the metro Atlanta area.
Mhm.
I do lots of one-on-one coaching with women of all ages who are looking to connect with that sovereign wise woman and maybe just need a little boost, conversation about what's the next step for me or how do I unblock this. And so that can be done on Zoom, on the phone,
Mhm.
and we are so blessed to have the technology that we have
Mhm.
and be able to meet with people like this online or on the phone.
Mhm.
So I welcome conversation. Like,
And people can find you at Wise Transformations, or is there another place?
so there are a couple of places.
Mhm.
My personal company is Autumn's Fire, and it's Autumn's with an S,
Mhm.
fire.org.
Mhm.
And also my partner Judy and I have wisetransformation.com.
Mhm. Perfect. And we'll
And
have both of those on your page so that they know.
great, great, great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Bonnie, this has been a delight. I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing in the world. Um, you give people that, well, you're the sovereign wise woman as well, and you give people that safe place to come and have those difficult conversations. And we all need that. So thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much for the
you.
work you're doing.
Just such an honor and such a joy always to be with you. And thank everyone for stepping in, spending a little time. Hope to see you online again. And do delve into those recordings.
For sure. Thanks, Bonnie.